Travel the World of Music with Yu Changfa. Written by Yu Changfa, produced by Philip Shea. The profession of composer. The profession of composer is not sound like a profession. Because except for a few people, most of the works of composers have no chance to be performed. And for the few composers who have performed works, usually the expectations of the performance teams for him are not the same as what he expects of himself. For example, Dvořák is a composer who has had a lot of performance opportunities during his lifetime. Shortly after he became famous, he composed symphonies and Slavonic dances. When he approached the publisher told him, "Could you please write a few more Slavonic dances? If you don't pay me a little more for my new symphony, I won't do Slavonic dances." Dvořák told him, "You should know that in the European society, there were many piano players in the family. So the composer's orchestral works was usually adapted into piano scores for sale. These piano scores sold very well, but the symphonies were not so popular on the piano, so the publishers didn't want composers to write symphonies. Even a symphony is not as good paid as a Slavic dance." Dvořák was lucky. Although the price of his symphonies were not well paid, they were still played and listened to. Composers like Bruckner, his symphonies are classics today. But in his day, these works were rejected by the Vienna Philharmonic, as being of poor quality. Debussy has a historical status today, but he was not able to make a lot of money by composing music during his lifetime. His life was safe, mainly because his second wife was rich. Compared with his contemporary composer Ravel, Debussy can only envied. The copyright fee for Ravel's Bolero helped Ravel to earn a lakeside villa at the time. Of course, there are also composers like Brahms and Wagner, who were popular with music lovers during their lifetime. But there are more composers far worse than Debussy and Dvořák. Not mention that the payments were not high, and there was no chance to perform works. So, the composer is not in profession, although sometimes there can be a little bit of a fame.